Hey guys, how's it going? CoderMan here. In today's video, I want to talk about how much money you should have on hand when starting a business and also give you guys a quick update on what I've been up to. So before I get into today's topic, I really want to thank you guys for the insane amount of support that I've been getting, both with the subscribes, the views, sharing. The channel got demonetized last month, and a lot of people are like, hey, you don't create content anymore. I haven't in about 2 to 3 weeks. And it was like, what, did you give up because you're not making that, sweet YouTube money? And it's so far from the reality. The truth is that my wife and I became foster parents last fall, and I kind of touched on this in one of my other videos, but we got 2 placements back to back, and it's definitely been a big change for us, as a family as well as time, and then of course I have my business that I run. So it just, unfortunately, YouTube kind of had to take a back seat. But what was really crazy is the channels continued to grow actually faster than any other month. So at the beginning of February, we had just under 300 subscribers. And then between February and March, I got, I think right now, another 75 or 76. So we're up to 375 subscribers, which doesn't seem like a lot, but to me, it is. Right? So people are commenting, they're sharing, they're liking, but above all, they're subscribing, which tells me that they liked the one video that they saw, but they also want to support the channel and they want to see more content. So where exactly does today's topic come from? Well, someone had messaged me and said, hey, I'm looking to start a business and I don't have a lot of capital. Now, of course, this is going to vary depending on what business you're starting. If you do like a brick and mortar pizza shop versus a web agency, there's obviously different costs. As a general rule, I try to say that you want to have as much money as you're comfortable having. Now, of course, that sounds nebulous, so let me break it down. First off, you want to make sure that you have at least 3 to 4 months of operating expenses. This is your office space. This is paying for services that you're using, whether it's, let's say, web for an example, because that's what I do. You need web servers, you need API systems, you need different setups that you're connecting with. They have monthly recurring costs. Google Apps, email, you have Amazon AWS servers. These are all, they seem very small, but trust me, they add up. And as you continue to go deeper down the rabbit hole of creating and building things, you want to have more services connected to what you're doing. Clients need more services, you have to offer them. And really, it just kind of comes down to your expenses go up every month, pretty much for an eternity. Now, of course, you should be making more money every month that you're in business, but the reality is sometimes that doesn't happen. You may have a slow month, you may have clients that take more than 45 days to pay, but those services still need to be paid for. So much like an emergency fund in your home, you want to have at least 3 to 4 months of expenses that if someone doesn't pay, you're not banging up against the wall, and more importantly, you're not taking a business loan. So you know how I am against business loans. In most cases, there's some very rare exceptions, but for the most part, I don't want you taking out a business loan because you're already starting at a loss. And now you're in a position where not only are you risking your own money, credit score, as well as just your personal credit in general. And it doesn't really matter how old you are. Even if you own a house, you may need to buy a new car, you need to buy a new house. Let's say, God forbid, your spouse gets laid off and now you're down to one income. You have to prove income, but you're not making any in your business. It can become a really bad situation real fast. So you don't want to be spending all your money every month, but you also don't want to be in this sort of fear where it's like, I can't spend a penny. The reason this can be a problem is because a lot of times people will start nickel and diming. Google Apps is $5 a user, I believe, but I could use my email on my host for free. Well, Google has advantages that far outweigh the $5 per user cost. That's an example where I'm like, I'm paying for that, I don't care. But you may have another service. We were using RunScope for a while, and I really, really love the service. But for what we were doing, $70 a month, we just were not utilizing it enough. In addition to when you're saving money, other things you want to keep in mind is, you have actual operating expenses for your business. So here in Massachusetts, every year we have to pay a minimum tax, which is even if you don't make a penny, you still have to pay the state. I think it's $465 or $463, somewhere around there. And you have to pay that every year for pretty much the luxury of being in business in Massachusetts. And I'm sure other states have similar rules. In addition to that, same vein as the taxes, you also have to file tax returns. You should have an accountant or a bookkeeper handling this, but you got to pay them. And if you've had some dry months, especially the beginning of the year, come March 15th, you may not be really excited to pay that bill, or you may not physically be able to. And then the last thing is basically just peace of mind. You don't want to be in a situation where you're super stressed out about your personal life, and then over on the other side here, you're super stressed out about your business. I need to get this project. I don't really want to work with that client, but I need the money, so I'm going to have to dive in and take this project, even though it's not something I want to do because I have XYZ bill, knocking on my door. Whereas if I have a little bit of savings on this side, I can just go over there, grab a little bit, and move on, get a new client, get a new project, and fortunately in my case, tell that client that we're not a fit for them. Now in a later video, I'll touch on not working with clients that you don't have a fit. I have a whole process that I go through to determine if we're a fit for them and they're a fit for us. And I have to say, it's really helped us with the quality of projects that we work on, but it's also helped us with the type of clients that we truly want to help and work with. And actually, believe it or not, the list is called my non-negotiables because it's simple as that. If we do not fit for that client or they don't fit for us, we don't do the project. So I'm not sure how well you guys can see behind me over here on the screen, but I'm using Wunderlist, which is a great service. I'm not being paid to say this. I pay monthly to actually use it. But the reason that I'm actually showing you that is because that is my YouTube video list of things that I want to, make videos on. And of course, there's car shows and things that I don't even put on that list. But it's actually up to about 60 videos now, and a ton of them are the small business series, which, doesn't get a whole lot of exposure on my channel. I think that's because, the cars are obviously more exciting, and, me sitting in front of a camera is not as exciting as a Koenigsegg or a Huracan flying down the road. But the reality is that I create this content to help people, and while the cars are fun, the reason that I actually do this is to help people, and these videos is what helps with that. And then of course I guess fixing my refrigerator, which for some reason has become my most popular video. So at the end of the day, I create this content to help people, whether it is, fixing their appliances, apparently, or my more main focus is the small business and running a business day to day, because that's what I do. So as always, appreciate you guys checking out this content. Please like, subscribe, share this video, comment if you have any questions, hit that notification bell if you haven't subscribed, do that please, but hit that notification bell, and I'll catch you guys in the next video.